morning everybody, my name is Osa and it's a Friday morning. We're going to be playing some Farm Sim 17 on Lawfolds, Aberdeenshire. As you can see from our opening screen, we got the seed tender out because our seeder needed to be refilled. We've completed seeding this field, so we've closed the gate. We'll run around here. These two fields all done and closed up. And I think this field here also all done. So it's 6 o'clock on day 5, late summer, and I've been playing a little bit offline. So there might be something around here. Hi pigs. Yeah. So seeding, we got as far as this point. The problem is our plough has been taking up so much time that the harvesting is all finished for today, which is a good thing. I moved the harvester back to the cow farm. This tractor is going to need a service before too much longer. Just want to check on that. Oh, half engine hours or 2 days till maintenance is required. We should probably do that right now. That was a little unexpected. Just because I know it's there, we'll put the steering wheel back where it should be. Barely fit in here. Some of these workshops are a little tight, so turn that off. So repair, so cheap, quick oil change, and let's go find something else to play with. We're doing that too. So our older class Axion. This field was ploughed within the last 3 years, so right now this is just needing cultivation. Set that off on a worker. We can jump out and run over here. So this, we're over by the sheep farm, and I've got the start of the mowing unit getting assembled. I'm going to be bringing the Massey Ferguson down, but after we've fed the pigs tomorrow morning. And reason for that is because the normally resident tractor at this farm is currently let's close that. I don't need to use that anymore. I was using that as a quick get out for bale and crop sale. So this is our Zarian, which is still on the plough. We can set that off. So I've started a little bit away from the edge of the field to give myself a little bit of turnaround room there. Okay, so Oil change is done. We need to get this out and get it working. Yeah, I figure it was going to take me probably more than half an hour to plant this field. Now, not too worried about finishing early. It's late summer, but the nights are still quite light all the way through to probably about 8:30. If I can get those other two fields prepped, then we can set this off seeding oilseed radish tomorrow without too much issues. Oh, did I miss that badly? Seems I did. Okay. There we go. Okay, hitch that back on. It's all set for oilseed radish. And there we go, another field begun. So, yeah, there's our Hurleyman and the harvester, all ready for work there. Now, the other thing I'm doing is selling these silage bales because we're going to need some room for another 300 tomorrow. There we go. One more. Oh, yeah. That's all set too. Alrighty. So unfortunately this is the job for the day. I'm only taking them to the bale sell point rather than the BGA. Digestate tank is full. I can't use any until we get round to ploughing in the oilseed radish, and that's not going to happen until about mid-fall, by which time I'm going to have another 300 silage bales ready to sell, and we can ship them straight up to the BGA and replenish our digestate stocks as we use them. Obviously we will be getting ready for digestate and what have you once we start ploughing in the oilseed radish. I've also got to decide what I'm putting in a lot of the fields. I think the big field by the main farm we will probably go, we did canola last time, so we may do wheat or barley. We're going to have to pull the corn and the oil, the soybeans from around the cow farm. I don't really care where I plant the soybeans. It was just easier to have all the early crops on the east side of the farm and all the late crops on the west side for this year. But next year we'll see. It's a nice looking field of corn. I'm not sure when that's going to come up ready. I mean, technically I think I can already harvest it with the forager, but it's kind of late in the day. I think I was saying this week, as near as I can gather, that auger wagon is not prototypical for UK farms. There we go. They tend to use small tippers like the AgroLiner or some of the modern tippers. Unfortunately, most of the YouTubers I watch are American. So I've seen, yeah, most of them are using grain carts or wagons to shuttle the crop to the edge of the field where larger trucks will take it on. Find it easier driving fast, i.e. trucks, in cab. Tractors, the only time I really need to be in cab is when the trees around the fields or roads are too much overshadowing. That one. That one. And yes, we are down about 300,000 because I did buy the field over by the sheep farm that I was considering. And we made back, I think, about 50,000 selling the crop and the straw bales. So in the short term, that's not a great financial decision, but obviously going forward, that field then becomes part of the increased income. And fields seem to pay for themselves in about, I guess, 4 to 5 years. That can't be right, because the amount of money we've got and the amount of money that comes in every year is significantly more than what we're paying for these fields. Oh well, that's going to make things a lot easier. So they all come tumbling down. We're going to need to fill this truck up too soon. Got enough diesel in it to last the end of the day, I think. we do have a couple of other vehicles that need maintenance within the next 48 hours. I don't know if as many of them are close on the engine hours as opposed to just days. Service needs to happen once per year. I think 30 days. 6. Or is it 24 days? I can't remember. I should. What am I doing? That. And that. If we go and have a look at the axiom we just did. What's there? So 24 days, that's the one we just did. 6 4s are 24. 6 days per season, 4 seasons. So yeah, you have to service the vehicle once a year. Or every 30 hours, whichever comes first. And this time of year, those heavy tractors are going to get a lot of work. But then most of them have been just sitting around all of summer not doing much of anything. So the next farm we start in 19. I'm thinking that we will start with cash in hand. So whatever money we've got right now, we will transfer to the new farm when we finish this series. And with that, we'll be able to purchase a starting farm and oh, good grief. Nope, that. There we go. This is getting a little bit crazy. Okay. So we may purchase a little bit of land and some early starting equipment, so just tractors, plows, cultivators, seeders, possibly a fertilizer, but we're pretty much limited to what we can afford to buy. But we are going to have about £2,000 to start the game. We will sell the land from this map, and I've done all the math for that, so I know what the ground is worth, and we will only be allowed to use that money to buy new land, so we can end up with a big farm, lots of land. I will also go back and basically sell off all the equipment second hand, which means we will not be able to afford as much equipment as we have here right now. So we'll have less equipment. Sneak past there. But I won't be destroying this save. I will keep, it's all going to be virtual sale for the next series. But I will keep this in case we want to do a throwback Farm Sim 17 sometime in the distant future. I am hoping the new map will be as engaging for me as this one has been. Try and collect some of these on the way in. Okay, and then we'll do a 180 in here. Pick up as much of the rest as we can. Magic floating bales. Ugh. There we go. The closer I get to those, the more the auto load feature interferes with the bales and causes them to dance, so gravity takes control again. New farm equipment will probably be predominantly class, but not exclusively. I'm kind of considering 2 heavy tractors in the sort of 380 plus horsepower range. We'll up the medium tractors, so there's a second one. Because at the moment we have only got the Valtra, and I think we could use another one. And then we'll also get 2 smaller tractors. In the sort of 140 range. Obviously from the get-go we're going to have to rebuild our supply of digestate and manure. So we won't need to be spending as much money on equipment to handle that. But probably going to need a sprayer, and I may go for self-propelled this time. So it's not something. It's not something I've seen as important. What am I doing here? Let's turn it on. I mean, normally I spray with the smallest piece of equipment on a tiny tractor. But we could benefit from a sprayer self-propelled instead. Okay, It'll jump. No, I can't see. There we go, full again. And we've still got a number of loads left. How are we doing? Still ploughing, still cultivating, still seeding. It's the nice thing about oilseed radish. The seeder was, I think, less than half full, probably about 30% full. So I did have to refill it. But it's hardly used any, and it's already done at least 2 fields. Still 84% full. That one up. There we go. So what else has been happening? Well, we had a power cut on Wednesday afternoon. So spent Wednesday night in a hotel, and Thanksgiving lunch for me was a couple of slices of bread and peanut butter, because we didn't get power till later on in the afternoon on Thursday. Mrs. Osa's been sick, so she's not eating or cooking much of anything at the moment. Tomorrow morning we're going to look at a couple of houses, so there will not be a Lawfolds session tomorrow morning. I may try and fit one in later on in